The coronavirus crisis is, as I said, you can see from this update, it's curtailed our activities a little bit, but not much. We're still doing the work necessary to uncover government corruption. We're still in court litigating. The courts are still operating more or less, at least in the areas that we're concerned about. There have been some delays. The bad news is the federal government specifically has essentially shut down key FOIA operations using coronavirus as an excuse. Are you aware of any federal government, by the way, are you aware of any federal government employees who have been laid off? Of course not. So we don't get any FOIA documents. I don't know what the FOIA employees are doing, but now we're not allowed to get any FOIA documents. They're using coronavirus as an excuse. But we're still getting some, or we have some that we had gotten that we're releasing now from before the collapse. And the documents are from the email communications between Page and Strzok. Now they are sitting on the FBI and Lisa Page was the former FBI attorney who had this illicit adulterous relationship with Peter Strzok, the other top counterintelligence official in the FBI, and between the two of them, they hated Trump and loved Hillary Clinton. It's pretty clear based on the text messages, the insurance text messages and things like that. Now, what's going on is that we had asked for all of their communications, emails and texts. Of course, they've been holding the text messages from us, and they have, I think, over 13,000 email communications, and they've been slow rolling the release of those records to us. And now we know why, because the records, each patch has material further confirming the criminal conspiracy against the President of the United States and the criminal cover-up of Hillary Clinton's corruption and seeming criminal activity tied to her email misconduct. And the latest batch of emails is just incredible. And it implicates who? John McCain. People forget that the late senator, his people, circulated the smear dossier that essentially called the president a traitor. So McCain was in on it. And now the documents show that the FBI had every reason to know almost immediately that not only that McCain was leaking the documents, but it also highlighted, these emails show, that they saw the dossier was being leaked 6 ways to Sunday by Team Clinton. This is just before the inauguration of the president, President Trump. And despite knowing that this group was leaking to try to destroy Trump, they were still trying to work with these people, I mean by Steele and Fusion GPS, to launder their dirt fraudulently into the FISA warrants. In fact, that's what they were literally doing. The records include an email dated January 10th, 2017, in which Strzok said that the version of the dossier published by BuzzFeed was the publication that first published the smear, was identical, in quotes, to the version given to the FBI by McCain and had differences from the dossier provided to the FBI by Fusion GPS co-founder Glenn Simpson and Mother Jones reporter David Korn. January 10th, 2017 is the same day BuzzFeed published the anti-Trump dossier by former British spy Christopher Steele. Emails show that Strzok and other FBI agents were mocking President Trump a few weeks before he was inaugurated. In addition, the emails reveal that Strzok communicated with Andrew McCabe, the now disgraced former deputy director for the FBI. In fact, he was acting FBI director, which is even more serious for a period of time after Comey was fired. And Strzok was asking McCabe about the so-called leak investigation that was tied to the Clinton Foundation, and McCabe was the leaker. He was implicated in the leak. So that email is really interesting, but there's so much here to unwrap, and I'm going to go through it with you more directly. This is the big email about them knowing that the McCain gang was involved in the leaking, or strongly suggests they knew or should have known. And it also shows that there was more than one dossier floating around out there. And I've already told you that. There have been multiple Trump dossiers. You had This is what was going on. You had Steele giving the dossier to the FBI. You also had Steele laundering additional material through Bruce Orr and Nellie Orr. You had the State Department laundering the Steele material into the State Department, into the Justice Department. You also had the Obama State Department laundering Clinton campaign operatives who had a similar dossier, Sidney Blumenthal and Cody Shear. They were passing that along to Steele and the State Department as well. And then, of course, you had the version by McCain, which is different, that was also given to the FBI. So by my count, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, what is it, 4 or 5 dossiers? Talk about insurance. They had dossiers incoming from all directions in the FBI and Justice Department. And the FBI and Justice Department knew it was a sham.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.